Hey there! My story is a little different from the stories you might have seen on MSA. Wanna know why? 'Cause it has a ghost in it. I'm Beatrix, and unlike other kids who are born crying, I was born smiling. Yep, and that sort of freaked out my mom and the doctors. Come on, little angel, it's time to cry. But instead, I cooed and laughed. Mom had so much fun playing with me and making me beatbox. That's the reason she named me Beatrix. Needless to say, growing up, I had a great life, and my parents absolutely adored me. They made me feel like I was the center of their universe, especially Dad. We were like two birds of a feather. He was an amazing singer and owned a studio. He often took me there, and I was always in awe of the place. Daddy, can I be a singer too when I grow up? You already are, kiddo. In fact, you're so good, you even make crying sound like a melody. I always thought that nothing would ever break us apart and our family would stay together forever. I was so wrong. One day, Dad told Mom he had taken on some debt and was unable to pay it back. From that day on, they started fighting over the smallest of things and soon ended up getting divorced. Dad left the city and never looked back. I was heartbroken and hoped he'd come back for me, but he didn't come. Even on my birthday, I felt shattered. Mommy, why didn't Daddy come? He promised he'd come for my birthday. Please call him. I did, sweetheart. He must be busy. You have me. Come on, let's cut the cake. No, I want Daddy, or else I don't want this cake at all. After that day, I was asking Mom for Dad all the time, but he changed his number. And then to make things even worse, she married again. I was nervous at first when I met my stepdad, but it turned out he was an absolute gem. Not only did he paint my room in the exact color I wanted, but he also treated me to ice cream every day and spoiled me with all the things I asked for. Every night when Mom used to tuck me in bed and sing me a lullaby, he'd come too. Life was finally good again. And then my half-sister Jennifer was born. Mom and my stepdad only had eyes for her, and it seemed like it was all Jennifer all the time. I started to get jealous of her, but one time when she was crying and Mom and my stepdad weren't around, she gave me the most beautiful smile ever, and I melted. Aw, aren't you the cutest thing in the world? I tried to lift her, but Jennifer ended up crying again, and right then, my stepdad stomped into the room. He looked really pissed. I just put her to sleep. Did you wake her up? Did you make her cry? What? No, I was just... Don't yell at her. She's just a kid. Then they started fighting over me all the time. When my stepdad said I was always causing trouble and should be sent away to live with my real dad, I felt like someone punched me in the gut. That's when I felt like I wasn't a part of my own family. But I kept quiet and didn't complain. And since no one even knew where my real dad was, I wasn't sent away. But then I noticed something strange was happening. I couldn't go outside anymore. Mom even had to homeschool me for a month. Thankfully, I grew out of it eventually with Mom's help. And as Jennifer grew up, she loved being around me. We were pretty close, even though she was competitive and wanted Mom's attention all the time. Like, when I'd come home from school and run to hug Mom, she'd jump in and hug her first, then talk to her and keep her busy until I gave up and would go to my room. I didn't mind, because